I have a revelation for mankind. Father is named on the heart. And the top of the human body is called the vertex, which parallels Father, just like cranium, just like speak, tongue, just like foreskin, just like anus. But the best word that I just got from the Lord is that Father parallels heart, containing the exact same letters on the end of it. And it yields once again, our golden offset of 6 with the F in the front being that 6. So Father, to the glory of the Father, equals heart plus 6. This is to the glory of God. The current date and time, as always, for historic purposes, is right there. Lovely 3s. Saturday Sabbath. And so the heart is the most important, and then lungs. So Father parallels heart, Father parallels lungs, Father parallels aorta, like the most important artery. Father parallels anus. I already wrote that one down. Like it's now you're just starting to think of all the plus ones in the body. The vertex, first of all, it makes sense that the Father be above all things. Jesus said, my Father is greater than I. The top of the human body is called the vertex. That's the very highest part of the human skull, is the vertex, it's called. The top of your head, the top of your skull is called the vertex, and that's plus 36 over Father. And we did a beautiful, look, there's the letters that match, and then from an H to a V, goes up, what is it, 21 points difference, and this is 3, so you get a 24 point difference between, this goes down, an 8 and H is 9 compared to the VE, which is 999. So vertex scores 18 points there, and then an X is, again, 18 points greater than an F. So the VE score 18 points over the AH, and then the X scores 18 points or the F to make your plus 36 offset in Father, the vertex of the human body. The Father's at the top. And then that's also called the cranium. I felt that was a word I had from the Lord. So R equals R, A equals A, THE in gold equals CIU, and then this is the offset there. Tongue, speak, Father, we saw that. Okay, this is so obvious though that. Oh, and then so the Father created the earth. The Father's name is on the earth because peace in the earth equals peace in the heart. Wow. So there's the mathematical solution of planet Earth. It declares the name of God the Father. Wow. So talk about the heart of the matter. Father equals heart plus 6. And so the Father owns the earth, he owns the heart. What's amazing to me is, okay, let's take a look now. Look at this. So the E, A, R, T are in order in both of those famous words, and then the E is just kind of rotated, the H is just rotated around one. And so what has God ordained in his personal name, Father, compared to that? The T and the H stay in order. They are followed by the E. It stays in order. The rotation is in order. I'm going to change this F to a nice cherry red because it's the sentinel value. And then the only thing, so the THE stay in order from left to right. The. And then the A and the R swap places in the top part, Father. But the famous 3-letter words of the English language, the King of Kings, the Father, the earth, the heart, stay in perfect order. THE, THE, THE. There you go. So the earth, the heart, the Father. But we are in human anatomy finding the Father now with all the plus 1 words. So your lungs are in, lungs equals number. We've seen a number of famous body parts that equal number, which equal 73, and the offset from Father is plus 15. The Father's name is on lungs, just like heart. Aorta, the largest artery coming from the heart. How does that compare to Father? Aorta, oh my goodness, is 3 points less. Father is 58. Aorta is 53. That is obvious. Wow. And then I believe you have other things in that zone, like, man, I'm going back to high school science. Aortic valve, well, you can solve that for that's just Jesus glorifying, but let's start big here. And then anus, okay. Anus equals, wait a minute. What? Oh, 55, Anus equals aorta. Talk about famous things like the anus, like the end of the line for everything that comes out of your body, your butt, your butthole, of course. Interestingly, the word hole parallels the Father, just like anus. And then buttocks and rear and all those famous words divided by 3. So hole, to be simple about your anus, is minus 18 from the Father. And this is minus 3 from the Father. This is, so anus is the official term. And now it's just a matter of how fast you can scoop up all these plus ones. Tongue was huge. And you can solve all the internal organs. And I'll probably go through Wikipedia and we'll just see. I like going deep per. So what's cool to me is whenever someone says, "Oh, the lungs," well, they're just setting themselves up to glorify the Father because you've added the there, you know, and so then all these letters divided by 3: L and U, F and R, the A and E hook up, or sorry, the A then can be compared to all this Clusterville, make 39. You get the idea. So very special, the word Father, because it contains the. In order. The Father, the lungs, okay. And then you can do, you know, simple things like this, like look at the obvious of aorta. Like, come on now, this is the biggest artery. And then so an H and E equals 13, minus an A is 12 points offset. And so that's plus 12 for here, add the 6, and then minus that from the theory, and that gives you your minus 3. Okay, so now it's a matter of just going through the body and finding all those plus ones. Heart, earth. Earth. Oh, so all these famous words that parallel heart are soul, mind, spirit, and body. So once you've seen the glory of heart in Father, it's a short step to understand this, that soul is plus 12 over the Father, or sorry, plus 9. Someone had to create your soul. Well, I just seen the Father's name on soul, okay, and you can do a letter by letter comparison, like an A plus a T equals a U. You can start building an L, you know, is similar to the F and the R that both divide by 6 on the end, and H and E makes 13, which is 6 different from the soul, and just analyze it more. So soul plus 9 from Father, mind minus 18. These are gorgeous offsets. 9's. Spirit plus 33, body minus 12. Okay. Heart, soul, mind. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. The Father, with all your heart. Plus 6, all your soul, all your mind, all your strength, or your body, your spirit. Okay. What's pretty cool to me is if you talk about heart, soul, mind, and body. You've gone 6, 9, 12, 18, okay. All right, well let's just do a Father hunt here. Let's just see what else we find in the great human body for the Father. So I'd like to take kind of a zoomed out look here. Bones of the body. Let's just go here. Bones. Bones is 3 points less from the Father. You can check the plural on these things. So then you can say the bones of the human here. So where do we want to go? I think I want to go back to the cranium. Facial bones, like, because I feel like there's a little more work we could do here. I talked about the Father. The vomer, that was the Father. We did that one. Nasal was Jesus. We did maxillary, macro, inferior, nasal concha. Zygomatic bones we did. Zygomatic was Jesus. And then the hyoid was definitely Father. Ethmoid. That equals Jesus. Frontal bone. Oh yeah, that was Christ. Maybe a side view. Pterion. That is strongly Father. That is like the connecting point. You got the 3 plus 2 is the 1 plus 1, and the rest divide by 3. Fascinating. Pterion, how's that stack up? It's 39 points higher than Father. Coronal Satur, I remember that was Christ. Satur was Christ. Parietal bone, that's Father. Parietal bone, and that includes the top of the head. Aha! So the vertex is the top of the human skull. It's called, like, the tip top is called the vertex. Well, what bone is that on? The parietal bone. So if I just show you vertex human skull. Vertex anatomy. The vertex refers to the upper surface of the head. The two parietal bones, frontal bone Christ, parietal bone Father, occipital bone Father, okay, well, let's take a look at parietal. Father. Yeah, I mean, it reeks of it. It's like parent. It's like paternity. Father, parietal. Look at all the shared letters. There, parietal is plus 24, a great offset from Father. Just wonderful. See it with me now. Look at all this glory. We just scooped up 4 of the letters in Father. Half the letters in parietal. And their overall offset is 24. Father gets 6 from the F. And then L gets, or wait, this minus 6 goes to the F because parietal is the plus 24 we're looking for. L contributes plus 12, bump those off, oops. First and last letters that divide by 6. And then an H, so a P plus an A is 17, plus a 9 is 26, less the H, plus 18 for parietal. And so there's your beautiful components in 6s that make the offset of Father. And then bone, remember, divides by 6, it's 6 times 6. And you just add more Scrabble tiles to work with. So parietal bone is therefore 60 points higher than Father perfectly. So there you go, we solved the parietal bone for the Father. And that's at the top of the skull. It's the highest part. It's the biggest part of the skull. Let's just like, you know, now that we've solved it, like, just crack it open. Here we are. There it is. It's the top of your head. The top of your head, parietal bone, Father. The Father is at the top. And the Father is connected to Christ, the frontal bone. But this is the Father, strongly the Father, the parietal bone. When joined together at a fibrous joint, form the sides and roof of the cranium. And then cranium parallels Father. That was actually a word I had from cranium is plus 21. And I would like to say this. The Father, like Father, the cranium. Like, because then you do this, and then the R and the A are right there. And then the C is plus 3 over that, but you know, I'm doing it plus 3, so that's like that. And then this will add the final offset of 57. So the grand total is plus 54. So the cranium, when you say the cranium, it equals Father love. It's exactly 54 points higher than Father. So the cranium equals Father love. Done. It's all nice. It was named from the Latin peris, ball. Oh man, now you're getting into a lot of fantastic verbiage. Wow, these two terms differ by 3, dividing by 3. Ooh, pretty. Cool. All right. What else? Oh yeah, your temples, temporal lobe, temporal bone. Yeah, the other big one is the occipital bone, which is also Father. That's exactly 30 points higher than Father. Another offset of 6. That differs by 3. And then it's just a heyday with all the 3s in there. Pretty sweet. I mean, you can go an F, then equals a CC. Let's keep track of the fact that we got a plus 3 in there. And then an R equals, I'm sure you can get it from the 2 I's, yeah. And then there's the remainder of your offset, the 12 plus the 12 plus there's the love, the LO27, so 12, 15 equals 30. Father, occipital bone, and then bone adds 36, so everything just keeps dividing by 6. So occipital bone equals Father happy, you know, happy Father. There you go. Occipital bone. Father. was pretty satisfying. Temporal. Let's just quickly throw temporal on there because that's like your temples. Oh man, that reeks of the Father. It's perfect. It equals 100. That's 32. That's 42 points higher. Again, it divides by 6. Like, this is insane. So the occipital is plus 30, the temporal is plus 42, and then the parietal was plus 24. Like, this is incredible. Parietal is plus 24 over the Father. This is mind-blowing. It's all sixes. The temporal bone. It's just, Father's in the house. T-E. We've seen this one before. Let's look at 4 letters bumped off. Snazzy. Let's take the difference between, well, so an F minus 6 and then L's plus 12. Let's just get all the 6's outside of the equivalences there. And then the difference between an H and an MPO, whatever's left, is just going to be the final. You can take the information, yeah, 36, of course. 36, done. And you could do other things like the A to the M differs, and the P to like an HE would differ by like 3, or a P to a TH. Like you can do, like I did it letter for letter equivalence, but if you focus purely on numbers and try and achieve really cool offsets, like an A to an M goes 12, and then a TH to a P goes another 12. And then an F on the top is minus 6, and then an R on the top is minus 18. I'm literally just trying to write down as many multiples of 6 as I can. And then L on the bottom is 12, and R on the bottom is 18. And then, you know, an E is an E, of course. And so an O, yeah, then you're stuck doing this. And E is an E. Oh yeah, let's bump off the, I know what to do, bump off the E and the A on the bottom, that's another 6 on the bottom, and then you had the E, the T and the O, which is 35 minus the E, so that left you with 30. So all these are multiples of 6, letter for letter, between Father and temporal, to make the grand offset of plus 42 to the glory of the Trinity. The Father, the name of the Father, to the glory of the Trinity at large, is on the temporal bone. And then like I said, when you add the word bone, you just add another 36, 6 times 6 to this party. There you have it. The Father's name is on the temporal bone. Okay, pretty sweet. That was satisfying. And then there's all these tattooers. I like to solve the biggest bones bursts. The brain case. Facial bones. The brain. Oh boy. Now it's all getting fantastic. Oh yeah, so appendicular. I did the hyoid bone, I did the skull pretty good. The vertebral column. What are these guys near the top? I don't like waiting for that one, it's kind of a... cervical. Oh, your jaw. That's a great one for the Father. Just like chin. I love God is the author of speed and efficiency, so Father's over the chin, over the jaw. That's so cool. And the offset is again a multiple of 6. Chin, the offset was same thing. Jaw equals chin. Oh wow, that's a huge revelation. That's a huge revelation that jaw equals chin. Using totally different letters, man. But it's all for the Father. That's glaring. An A is an A. Just to get the 6's of this, an A is an a W to an E. A W equals an ER. Wow, that's so cool. So Father is the ending of jaw. A is the A. And then you have nothing, and then so far you're equal. Now the Father gets the 6 at the front, and then a TH is exactly 18 points over a J. So there's your flawless addition to make Father plus 24 over the jaw. And then the Father and the chin, you know, an H is an H. An N differs from a T by plus 6. An A plus an E is 6. An F is 6. An R is triple 6, or double 6. And then a CI is, triple 6. And then a CI is double 6. Pretty obvious. The Father and the chin. You know, they always said I had a good chin, good jawline. Lovely, that's what makes a good father, you know, a good strong jaw, good strong chin. He's a father, he's a good man. Disturbingly and mind-blowingly, this is amazing. This is so ridiculous, really. So that equals the plus 24, but look what I just saw. That's as if that wasn't cool enough. This is mind-blowing. ER equals IN. Equals W, like grab, paint. There's your 23 on the end of Father, just like it's on the end of chin, just like it's on the end of jaw. And then so the CH in jaw perfectly equals the JA in, the CH in chin perfectly equals the JA in jaw. You know, and then you can do this correlation, you know, an H is an H here. And then it's very simple because the word fat is 3 times 3 times 3. That is exactly 24 points over 3. Like the Father owns your chin. Also, you know, the jaw, the entire jaw, the Father. Okay, this is amazing. So the Father's name is on the jaw and it's on the chin. Okay. The famous phrase, facial hair belongs to Jesus. The offset, 3 plus 1 is 1 plus 2. That is minus 6 from Jesus. The 6 offsets keep coming. Look at how Jesus owns your facial hair. 3 plus 1 is being very obvious because they're all plus 1, and they're gorgeously spaced, perfectly corresponding with the perfectly spaced 3 plus 1s of Jesus. Okay? So Jesus is the creator of facial hair. Let's enter DNA mode here so you can see how perfectly spaced this all is. If I had a monotype font, that would be even more crazy. And then the E hooks up with the 1H and everything else divides by 3. There you go. There's Jesus over your facial hair. What else? Let's just switch to the document here. We're going to look at the ear bones. The hyoid is so essential for the Father. Sternum is Christ. A single rib is Father. Multiple ribs is trio. Vertebrae was a single vertebra. A single vertebra is the Father, and the multiple vertebrae is threes. Similar concept to the ribs. This is so obvious what God is up to here. Let's hit this one out of the park. And then sacrum is threes, coccyx is Father at the very bottom. That's very obvious, the coccyx Father. We solved that one. But look at what God ordained between, because there's lots of ribs and there's lots of vertebrae. Well, pretty simple. One rib, Father. Multiple ribs, threes. One vertebrae, one vertebra. That's how you say it. Father plus 33, okay. That's cool. Coccygeals, Jesus. Cervical, Father, plus 1. Then plus 2, thoracic equals Christ. So those two knit together. Notice that the Father is on top. The top vertebrae are called the cervical vertebrae. That is the Father. Now lumbar is plus 1. That goes to hammer-sacral. There's a plus 1. There's a 3. And there's a plus 2. So all the different types of vertebrae will knit together. That's a great revelation. Okay. So, oops, grab that whole link. So where does this all come to? Wow, 3, 4, 5. 3 times the third prime times the ninth prime. That's a king for 3. And then these two by themselves were 150. Very obvious 3 fess. And then these 3 were 195. Everything divides by 15. Pretty obvious. You can add the word vertebrae to that party. Now you got 21 times 21. You can add the word vertebrae every step of the pipe and the word the if you want. Vertebrae, 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 vertebrae. Now what do you get? Now you're up to 3. Now you're up to 3 times the third prime times the third prime times the fifth prime, which is 3. You're almost up at 1,000 points. You add the word the in front, you'll get it. You'll get over 1,000. Actually, no, you won't. But you'll get as high as logically. You get 990. There it is. There's an obvious 3 for you. The cervical vertebrae plus the thoracic vertebrae plus the lumbar vertebrae plus the sacral vertebrae plus the coccygeal vertebrae knit together for the Trinity, 990. There you go. Wow, your neck. Yeah, singular is vertebra. Parallels the Father. Let's just solve a single vertebra for the Father. Vertebra. I'm just going to shoot for equivalences right off the bat. There's a fair number of them. And then look at these gorgeous 3s here. That's like pure 9s. And then the H from B is so Father is, that'll be a -6, and then the F in Father is a -6, and then this cluster down here is 1827 to yield the dead offset of 33. Father, vertebra, similar letters. Look at the vowels. A-E, A-E, vertebra, Father. And if I could be so bold as to point out the even more obvious thing is that the offsets with +1 and 2. There are 2 letters in both words that divide by 3, in fact divide by 6 individually. Very obvious. 6, 666, 666, 666. There's all your 3's. Now there are 3 plus 2's here, and that correlates brilliantly with 4 plus 2's here, because that is 1 higher than the number of plus 1's here. The A is the A down here, and then your additional plus 1 is right there. So you've simply added, like this might as well just be compared right here. And then these 2 guys are like just the bonus 3's that you could, is half a love, 27, right there. Very obvious that a single vertebra declares the name of God the Father. And on we go. Satisfaction achieved. And then cervical declares the name of Father. It's king, cervical equals number, and we've detailed that before. Now, I don't know if I've done a letter for letter comparison between cervical, but 2 plus 1 is 1 plus 2. There's your EA again. Like everything is EA. It's just everywhere. And they're in the same position. Just swap. And then look, like this is just incredible. Cervical. And then the FR, bookings. Now you know why you wanted to study the human anatomy. Look at that. Bang, bang. Whoa. And then TH at the center, man, just over top of this VI, might as well hook up, and then the C and the R both divide by 3. So here's a perfect symmetrical painting between Father and cervical. Do you see why you take time to peer in? That's where you get your satisfaction. You're like, I am convinced, I am seeing this. Wow. So this one differed by 6. R is 666. TV, that was 6 up. This is 666. This is 666 if you cluster these together. R is 666. F is 6. AE is 6. AE is 6. This is 666. And this is your 3 offset. I've said enough. The Father is all over the cervical anything. Cervical vertebrae. And then you can add these Scrabble tiles and keep going higher for the Father. Cervical vertebrae. Now you're up to like 42 plus 69, 111. So are the vertebrae of the neck immediately below the skull. Well, this is going to be exciting. There's 7 of them. Thoracic vertebrae are those vertebrae that also carry a pair of ribs and lie caudal to the cervical vertebrae. Now remember, cervical plus thoracic knit together, because thoracic declares Christ with it equals Christ. Thoracic equals Christ. Like, just so we can set the record straight on who owns the thoracic and how the Father. Notice the Father is above Christ, and I've seen this multiple times now. Like the patella is the Father, is over top of the tibia, which is Christ. Now we have the cervical vertebrae over top of the thoracic vertebrae. The Father is greater than the Son. The Father is above the Son. This is confirmed in the human skull, okay, which I have a photo of right here. The human skull, where the parietal bone, Father, is literally higher than the frontal bone, which is Christ, okay? And then amazingly, temporal and occipital also declare Father. So you have Father, Father, Father around this entire, skull here, and then Christ is on the forehead. Okay, very cool. So cool. And when people get anointed in the name of Jesus, they get touched the forehead, and it's all just very, very perfect here. But let's set the record straight on the thoracic. Well, this is just too blazingly obvious. I mean, this is embarrassing. First of all, they equal the same thing, and so we're already singing our head off. I mean, when you've got an equivalence, it's just happy land. But this is embarrassing. I mean, I've just gathered 5 letters of equivalence. Like, there you go. So are you starting to get the feeling? Are you starting to understand that, like, when you play Scrabble with all the words in English and anatomy and everything, you really want the letters that spell CHRIST, and you really want the letters that spell JESUS, and you really want the letters that spell Father. Okay. All right. Well, our work here is done. The only thing left to do is note that an S equals an OAC. And that OAC is very fun because it's the 2 king letters for 3. 3 times the third prime plus C, which is 3, plus A on top adds it to 19 equals S. So Christ clearly owns the thoracic vertebrae. And then vertebrae divides by 3 just so it just keeps sending you higher with all these offsets. It's 96. 6 is everywhere. So now you can add these to your board, and now you have thoracic vertebrae for Christ, and so that offset is of course plus 96. You're staying in this six offset land, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, thoracic vertebrae. So Christ is the thoracic, Father is the cervical. So now we're paying attention. So the cervical, okay, and then lumbar revisits Father again. Okay. So cervical are the smallest. Oh, they can, by the presence of a foramen in each transverse process to which the vertebral artery passes. So that's what we're looking at. There's 7 of them in the cervical. C1. Even the Latin, I apologize, I'm just off screen. Even the Latin term for this, vertebrae cervicalis, parallels the Father. It is 93 points plus 42. That's exactly love plus half a love. Amazing. Vertebrae cervicalis equals Father plus love, half love. Glaring. Screaming threes. Vertebrae cervicalis. Well, all that did was just add ES on top of cervical. 24 points. Good night. Okay. So we're paying attention now, because this is the Father glorifying his personal name in the vertebrae and the cervical vertebrae. We're really paying attention now. By convention, the cervical vertebrae are numbered. Now, the word number, of course, parallels Father. Okay, so cervical, numbered. With the first one of anything parallels Father. It is 48, in fact. So first one. I just can't resist. There's many letters of Father in first one. Father first. You know, when you go on a ride together with the family, the Father goes first because he's the leader of this whole operation. Father first. FF. EE. Another, and then an RR. First one. TT. Oh my, it's just falling into our lap. Good night. You got the word son in there. And then, so what is the offset? It was the multiple of, oh yeah, and then we're shooting for 6s. Well, I can't resist. There's only 2, this is so obvious. This is amazing how the Father is first. So, I mean, even just the word one. The word one compared to Father cannot be ignored. Father, one. 1 is exactly 24 less than Father. So again, it's all these offsets of 6s. So that's why I shoot for 6s. So there was an 18 there, and then H to an N. This is just disturbingly obvious. The Father is the first one. So an H to an N is 6, and then what's left over is the I and the O, which make 24. Like, is it just me, or did you just go 6, 18, 24, and there's your plus 48? First one belongs to the Father. Okay, this is amazing. So, numbered, Father. The cervical vertebrae are numbered with the first one, C1. So when that comes out of your lips, this is how it works. It still glorifies the Father, because C is 3. But what comes out of your mouth? Well, first one, or C1. So watch this. The Father owns the C1 vertebra. And what's the offset? Well, it's 21 points different. It's obviously, yeah, pretty simple. Wow, an E is an E, and then an N differs from an H by the same as 6. This is 21. C, of course, this is amazing how Father owns the C1 vertebrae. Watch this. An F and a C differ by 3. And then an O from an R differs by 3. In both cases, it goes down. The Father is above the C1 by 3 points in both cases. That is amazing. In order. An F is 3 points higher than a C. Okay? An F is 3 points higher than a C. An R is 3 points higher than O. Those are all the letters that divide by 3. Flawless. So the Father is already plus 3 plus 3 over the C1. Now I know what you're thinking. Why don't you add the word the in front, and then it's a lovely plus 12 over this whole shebang. And then you dust off the THE very tidily, and then this A parallels with the NE, differing by exactly 666, which is of course 18, or pardon me, oh, the C1, yeah, 12, and that is, so it's 30, 30, and then, oh, and then C1 added 18. Oh, okay, now I'm reversing my little numbers here. There. That's if you bore the tiles of the Father, the C1. If you do not use the, which is another thing to mention, then you had your plus 18 going. Or you had, now I had it in minus mode, and this was plus 3 and plus 3. I just kind of reversed the direction then. Minus 3, or plus 3, plus 3, minus 18, and then this was just 23, or 33 on top of it. Okay, you get the idea. Father owns C1 when you say it. The first one, C1, closest to the skull, and higher numbered vertebrae, C2 to C7, proceeding away from the skull and down the spine. The general characteristics of the 3rd through 6th cervical vertebrae are described here. The 1st, 2nd, and 7th vertebrae are extraordinary and are detailed later. Okay. Well, I am fairly tempted to do something clever here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and see what happens. I knew it. That adds to plus 1. So C1 glorifies the Father. But if you go through the whole list and say C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, you still maintain an offset of the Father. And I'm going to do both here. Okay? So that we're taking every single cervical vertebrae for the glory of God the Father in this video here. So what is our offset from the Father when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That number is quite large. It is 367. Well, and then minus 58, which is the Father, brings you to 309. That is a screamingly glorious number to glorify the Trinity. Like, that is a screamingly obvious 3. That is a triple of 103, and 103 is the 27th prime, which is 3 times 3 times 3. So, is that good or is that good? Now, as if that wasn't high enough, the official names of those 7 vertebrae are the C1, the C2, the C3, the C4, the C5, the C6, the C7. So now you add another 21 points to this glory fest, and I know what you're thinking. 21 points on top of 309 now becomes 330 exactly. And this 3 fest just got higher. Okay, so now you're up to, you are precisely and completely up to plus 330 for the Trinity. When you mention the names of the 7 cervical vertebrae in order, I will say it again to the glory of the Father. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. Now I know what you're thinking. You're curious about the individual numbers now in the offsets. Like 1 was plus 1, 2 is plus 1, 3 is plus 2, 4 is 3, 5. Like you can now, don't just wait for it now. Now I can't resist adding more 3's to this party. I'm going to add the word the in front of every single one. The C1, the C2, the C3, the C4, the C5, the C6, the C7. I've added 733s. That is going to push us up to 619 minus 58. Let's see. I have a calculator because I'm just going to be lazy. I clearly could have done it in my head, but I've been doing a ton of calculation. It's just 561. Wow. Bang. 561, which is a screaming large 3 number. That's 3 times 187. Good stuff. Okay. Now, and then, so this one So 1 is plus 1, 2 is plus 1, 3 is plus 2, 4 divides by 3, 5 divides by 3, 6 is plus 1, and 7 is plus 2. So, does that, yeah, and then that yields the ultimate offset of a total of plus 1 for the Father, because you had 2 plus 2s, you had 2 3s, and then you had 3 plus 1s. So, hence and hence. Okay, so let's dig in. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of verbiage here. Oh my gosh. The position of C7 shown in red. Oh my. Okay, I would like to shape of cervical vertebra shown in blue and yellow animation. Okay, so the first one is very special. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's pay attention to the first one. Let's open that right now, because that's the first one. The great C1. God, the Father, is above all. Okay, so it's very important that we go to the C1. C1, reveal yourself. Oh my goodness, it's called the Atlas, which parallels Jesus. Like an animate, the Atlas is the most superior